All right, so I am going to open up the floor for questions. So we have officially finished our building trust corporate credit, right? So we just learned how to establish trust corporate credit. I went through the foundational information about the actual credit bureaus and how to apply for a DUNS number and how to actually get your net 30 accounts and establish that paydex score. And then after that, we applied for our EIN for our business trust because we're definitely going to need that in order to build business credit for the business trust. And then after that, we started doing our board meetings for banking purposes, right? So that we know how we're actually going to operate that and who's going to be the authorized signer for the banks when we go ahead to open up the actual trust fund accounts with the banks. And then we did our promissory note so that we can document how much we're actually going to fund the trust fund with, okay? So with all that being said, I'm going to open up the floor for questions. So we have Kenya first. Hey, Kenya.
Hi, Christine.
Hi.
Yeah, I don't have that much questions today, but for the board meeting,
Uh-huh.
give me a minute. For the board meeting, use the same form
Yeah.
for the three. Okay. So
Yeah.
for the promissory note, it's the same thing for the business and the ministry if you want to take out a loan.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to use that template for all of your needs when you're doing loans.
So the DOM account is only for the business, right?
Yeah,
To apply.
if you're building
Mhm.
business credit with the business trust, and the DUNS number is only for the business.
Okay, but I wanted to ask you for the business account, could we build credit with that EIN number, or is just that's a faster route to be able to build your credit using, because I want to keep my stuff as private as possible.
Yeah, so that is to build business credit. So if you so I understand that you want to keep your stuff private. So I was telling you with you building credit, you're bringing it, back to the public, or
Mhm.
doing commercial business. So you want to be mindful of that. And that's why if you want to build business credit, then open up two business trusts. One is private and one is building credit publicly.
Okay, but I probably not getting. Yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying with the EIN number for the business, could I build credit with
Credit
that?
alone with the EIN, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, next we have Louisa. No, next we have, wait, hold on, I'm confused. Oh, Ashley. Ashley's next, I believe. Yeah, I hope so. Ashley?
Yes. Hi. So my first question is, um, what are the benefits of having your business trust private? Like, why should we want it private and not public?
Oh, I mean, it's for privacy, right? So, the thing is that your business trust right now is private. Nobody knows that you're the trustee, right?
Mhm.
Nobody knows what assets you have inside of the trust. So the minute that you start pulling it into the public, and now you have a public record for that trust, now people are going to know that this trust exists, this trust is building credit, and if you put it on the actual credit profile that you're the trustee, then now it's visible.
Um, and then when you were on the board meeting form, is there a specific type of bank that we want to put there? Like, as in like a credit union, or if you already have a business bank account?
Can you say that again?
I'm not even
Oh,
sure if I'm asking the right thing, but
are you asking what bank? You can choose whatever
yes.
bank you want. So
Okay.
there are certain banks that I recommend. So I recommend Ally Bank. They're pretty easy for you to get a trust account. I recommend Truist Bank. They're pretty easy for you to get a trust account. They're not going to ask you for your trust. You have the bigger banks such as Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase. They're going to ask you for your trust. So you don't really want to go with those banks. Or if you do, just prepare to get in contact with your legal department in order to prevent you from having to go through that route of actually providing your entire trust indenture to them, okay?
Okay. All right, that's it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Louisa.
Great sunrise.
Thank you.
I have two questions.
Yes.
Can I use my nonprofit as the entity applying for the business EIN number?
Your nonprofit, I'm not sure. I haven't tested it out. So
Okay.
you can use a third party. But to be honest with you, I'm almost sure that the third party needs to be a registered entity.
A registered entity. So
Mhm.
if I had like a registered entity, then applied for it. Like, so I
Yeah.
create the one, like you said, to create a public business. So if my public business, I could use my public business to get the private EIN. Could I
Yeah,
do it like?
yeah, you can.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know if I said it right, but thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next we have Stacy.
I just have one question. I didn't get the email, and I'd like to get your top five, or was it five or 10 creditors?
Oh
So
yeah, okay. All right. So I'll have Aya send the email to you and the list is there.
perfect. Thank you. That was
All
it.
right. All right, you're so welcome. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. But we'll have Aya send it over.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Atika.
Hello, Christine. How you doing?
It's always a pleasure. How are you, Sunshine?
I'm doing well. I heard you say about bringing your trust into the public
Uh-huh.
sector.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to do another business trust. My question is, when you start to structure things, are you leaving everything in the private one, like all your LLCs and everything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you do the public one,
It's
if
just
you don't,
for credit.
right, just for credit, but if I don't want my name to be listed as a trustee, what would be the other option? Like, what would
Um,
be my other
I,
option?
um,
Or the owner, or because it would be under a sole proprietorship. So,
yeah.
what would be what would be the other option that you could use? Or is it another, or the only option is your name?
So that's not the only option. So if you wanted to create a sole prop and use like an entity name, you can. And then you could also use other parties too. So it doesn't have to necessarily be you. You could appoint someone else to be a representative and they don't mind using their name and stuff. But what you can do is when you're applying for a sole prop, you can name the sole prop whatever you want. So if you wanted to, to name it, Jessica, you can name it Jessica and you can have an EIN with the name Jessica, right? And then you can use
Oh.
that entity and that sole prop as the owner of the business trust.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So you go back to the IRS.gov, you set up a sole proprietorship, EIN, whatever name you choose. Then when you go to Duns and Bradstreet, after you set up your EIN for your other business trust, when you apply for it, you use the name of your other EIN.
Yes, that's
And
correct.
that's that.
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct. Another thing that I want to let you guys know is that sometimes the banks will ask you for the grantor. Okay. And so the solution to that is you want to create a sole proprietor for the grantor. Okay. That is how you're going to be able to navigate with these different financial institutions, because the bank asks you for the grantor information. So you're going to create a sole proprietor with the name of the grantor, first name, last name of grantor, and they're going to issue you an EIN. Now, when you go to the bank and they ask you who the grantor is, you're going to give them the sole prop number instead of the grantor's actual social security number. And you can do the same thing with yourself as well. So I have sole prop numbers, and I use those numbers when I'm for banking purposes. Okay.
Okay, so you could use, so you would set up one for the grantor using their name, but you create a EIN for that, and you create one under your own name. And if okay, I understand what you're saying. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much.
You're welcome, Atika. All right, next we have Ronnie. Hey, Ronnie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Long time no see.
Yeah, if you want an explanation, I can give it, but if
No,
not,
no, 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 no. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening.
okay. So, basically, I was getting the invites to the previous meetings or whatnot, but at the time, I'm gonna be honest, I was busy. This is my first day of being able to actually come on, and I'm very happy I was able to.
Yes, me too. I got excited when I saw your name.
So, I was wondering, as far as the previous meetings, are they gonna be in the groups or email, or will it be on your YouTube? Because I stalk your YouTube as well.
Okay, yes, yes. So if you log into the online portal, then you will see all the recordings there. So you've logged into the portal, right, Ronnie?
I have before, but I'm not gonna lie, it's been a long
It's
time.
been a minute, yeah. So I mean, you can go back to that email, or we can resend it to you. So um once you log in, you're going to see two courses. So one is
Mhm,
the actual program with all of the instructional videos, and the other one
mhm.
is the recordings for all of the workshops.
Okay, so if you can please email me that again, and
Yeah.
also the documents from today. Can you please email it to me again, please?
Yes. So I'll have Dana, the program director, email you your login credentials.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. All right, next we have Flo. Hey, Flo, how are you?
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
good. Um, these classes are always so exciting,
Yeah,
and every time I learn new information.
yeah, I know, right?
So,
Isn't it like, isn't it crazy?
yeah, it's great. It's great. Well, I have a question about the promissory note, but
Okay.
now I have another question from what you just mentioned about the sole proprietorship.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as the grantor,
Mm-hmm.
then if that sole proprietor entity is the grantor, then is that a trust, that sole proprietor that's being created, or that's just a sole proprietor? And then as far as like the notary, I was just curious how that works when I guess you wouldn't need to if that's just okay, I think I get it. I think I
Yeah,
get it.
so what I'm saying is, let's just say that you're using your grandmother as your grantor, right?
Mhm.
So your grandmother, her name is, Betty May, right? And then I'll actually want to share my screen and go through this process. So she's your grantor. She actually executed your trust, right? So now when you are, and I've seen this, right? For example, if you're going to go change the ownership of your insurance, they're going to ask you for the grantor, the name, the social. When you go to the bank, they're going to ask you for the grantor's information, the name, the social, right? And so this is an individual that you chose to be your grantor, but you don't want their personal information. All you need is their name and and a 9-digit number. So instead of you, taking or instead of you requesting their personal social from them, in order for you to be able to get the bank accounts and transfer the ownership from your financial products and stuff like that, what you want to do is you want to set up a sole prop number under the grantor's name, okay? So I'm going to show you that process. I'm just going to quickly demonstrate that process. Let's see here. And so that is going to actually replace you needing their personal information, okay? So this is the whole process for you actually getting a sole prop. So the sole prop is for individuals who are in business for themselves or household employees, okay? So you're gonna go ahead and choose sole prop, and then you're going to continue, you're going to press sole proprietor again, and then you're going to press continue, and then they're just telling you what it is. So it's a business owned by one individual. They could be self-employed, they have their own expenses, stuff like that, right? And so now what are you using the sole prop? Why are you requesting it? Well, we're requesting it for banking purposes, right? Because we need to be able to provide that number to the bank. So now it's saying, tell us about the sole prop, right? So you're going to actually put the name of the grantor, okay? So you'll go ahead and put their name here, right? Betty May. Betty May, and then Betty May, and then you'll be able to put the tax identification number, and then you can say that it's a third party applying for the EIN on behalf of the sole prop, okay? And then from there, you'll be able to press continue. I'm not going to put like my personal information here, but you'll be able to press continue and you'll be able to get that EIN number so you can use that moving forward. All right.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Hi. So then would we use our social security number
Yeah.
when going through that? We would. Okay.
Yeah. You would use your socials to apply for the sole prop under their name. So,
Okay.
so the sole prop is going to be their name and the EIN number is going to be associated to the sole prop that's under their name.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that.
You're
Um,
welcome.
and then my other question is regarding the promissory note. Would you, so for example, the bank account, right? If you fund the bank account with, let's say $500, but the promissory note is a different amount, would that not be recommended? Because I'm assuming it would be cash. So then the question would be, where are the funds being held? Would you recommend keeping it very in a manner in which you can easily support if needed? So if it was like 400, maybe just taking the extra effort to creating a second promissory note to add additional funds, or am I overthinking it?
Yeah, I mean, so you definitely want the the amount that you're funding the trust fund with, you want to reflect the same amount on the promissory note. So if you fund it, let's just say you did the promissory note first for 1,000, but you only put 500 in there, then you want to create a second promissory note for the additional funds that are not, accounted for. And this is all internal too. So you're not like reporting this to anybody. This is just for your record keeping. You want to, have good record keeping when you're managing your estate.
I appreciate that. And then I'm just curious, as far as something like cash being held in an entity like a trust, I mean, theoretically, it wouldn't have to be held in a bank account, right?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
can have it under your mattress.
Great. Thank
Mhm.
you.
You're welcome. I have trust funds in a safe inside of my house.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, who do we have next? Ashley.
Yeah.
Hey, Ashley.
I think I forgot my question. Just 1 second.
We could come back to you.
That
Say that again.
I'm trying to remember my question. Okay. Okay.
Do you want me to come back to you?
Yeah. Come back to me,
Okay.
please.
All right, all right. Atika.
Yes, thank you for answering my question. Thank you for asking the question about the promissory notes because I did have that question. But this is sort of off the task right now. When is the conference you having at the end of January? What are the dates so
Oh
I can
yeah,
make
so
sure?
it's January 26th and 27th. So it's January 26th and 27th. All of the wealthy trustees are invited to come, and we're gonna learn a lot, a lot of information. So the first day is gonna be networking, and then the second day is gonna be education. So you're gonna be learning from what's the word I want to use?
Subject matter experts, experts.
Experts. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I just trying to make sure, but thank you. But thank you, and thank you.
Yeah,
I don't remember who
yeah.
asked the
So,
question about the promissory notes, but thank you for that.
you're welcome. So it's in Atlanta. So if you guys are, if you guys are in Atlanta, or if you're going to travel to Atlanta, then yeah, you definitely want to come to the mastermind. You're going to be networking with other trustees. Yes, Stacy, I'll get the information. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send out a blast text message to all of the trustees today. I'll also post it, or I'll send you an email and a blast text message because I want you guys to RSVP so that I can account for you because we're going to be providing food and refreshments and all this stuff. So you need to be accounted for. So I will send you guys a blast text message, and it's going to be 2 weeks from tomorrow, okay? 2 weeks from tomorrow, um on the 26th and the 27th in Atlanta. And it's a mastermind you don't want to miss. So I will have that information for you guys today, so stay tuned, okay? All right, next. Ashley, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
So back to someone asked a similar question before, but I wanted to know, in order to keep my business trust private, could I put a business name instead of my name, like my LLC?
Where are you talking about?
For the
You put,
business trust.
yeah, for the
For
business
the-
trust, you put the business name where?
Um,
Lyric.
I'm talking about, I'm not sure. I'm
Building
talking
Fraser.
about when building credit.
Oh, wait,
So,
hold on. Somebody's off of mute. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Okay, go ahead. I can hear you now.
I'm talking about building credit. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't think
Okay. Yeah, so what we were saying, were saying was that you could like create another entity to put that entity as the owner, or as the owner, and not you having to put your own name, right? So another entity is associated with the trust so that you don't have to disclose yourself on the public records as the trustee.
yeah, and for the same as an existing entity, or would have to be a new one specifically for that purpose.
Um, so I mean, you could use an existing entity. So like the trustees, the grantors, the beneficiaries, they can be entities. They could be corporations, they could be LLCs, they could be other trusts, and they can be, human people. So
You
it
said
could,
the trustees can be an entity?
mm-hmm. Yeah, the trustee can be an entity.
Okay. All right, that helps a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Terry. Hey, Terry. All right, Terry, you're still on mute. I'm not sure if you're talking. Yeah, we can hear you now. So I didn't hear
Okay,
anything that you previously said. I'm sorry.
okay. Yeah, I was trying to get my thing off of mute.
Oh, okay.
So now Christina, you lost me here talking about the sole proprietor
Okay, no problem.
number
Okay.
because I'm about to go to the bank and open up my family trust. So I need you to repeat whatever you said about the grantor and the number that I'm going to give to the people at the bank. Or
Okay.
did I misunderstand you?
No, you didn't. You didn't. So you can apply for a sole proprietor. So if you want to go to the bank is going to ask you for the grantor's information, they're going to ask you for the trustee's information. So if you don't want to give them your personal social security, then you are going to apply for a sole proprietor under your name. If you don't want to give them the personal social security of the grantor, if they require it, then you're going to want to apply for a sole proprietor under the grantor's name.
So I can do it under my name or the grantor's name?
Yeah.
Or is it better to do it under the grantor's name?
Yeah, so they're going to ask you for both. So it depends on
Okay.
what bank you go to, but most banks will ask you for the grantor's information. And they're also
Okay.
going to ask you for the trustee's information. The beautiful thing about it is that the EIN is equivalent to a social security. They're both 9-digit numbers, and there's no way for the bank to distinguish that you're giving them an EIN versus an SSN. So that's the beautiful thing. And they don't ask you for an actual, a copy of your social security card or anything like that. Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to Truist. So
Oh, yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I'm
Yeah,
answering
so
retarded
so
right now.
Truist, so the banks that I recommend, both of them, they ask you for the grantor information. The grantor doesn't have to be present because the trustee is the fiduciary, but they do ask you for their information just to have it on file.
Okay. So I'm on the IRS right now. So I'm gonna put in my grantor's name, put my social security number in to get the number for the sole proprietor, and that's what I can give them as her social. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
yeah.
All right.
The
Okay.
EIN that you produce.
Okay. And say that again about the EIN. I'm sorry.
No, whatever EIN that you receive for that sole proprietor, that's what you're gonna give them as the social.
Okay, and then so are you said they're gonna ask for my information as well, so I gotta have
Yeah,
two numbers?
yeah. So they ask you for the trustee information. So usually the trustees will give them their name and social. If you don't want to do that, then give them your sole prop.
Okay, so I gotta create two. All right, thank you, Christina.
You're welcome. Elaine, how are you?
Here I am. Here I am. Hi, hi. I have to tell you, you are doing a phenomenal job. You're just
Thank
so,
you.
so awesome. And I thank you for doing this for us. And I really appreciate it. My question is, given my location and I have to travel, and the tax season, so this is my busiest time of the year, the venue. What's the location? And because I have to right now start getting my travel arrangements together. So venue and what else? And time. What time on Friday
Oh,
morning
okay.
does it
All right.
start?
Okay, so Friday is just networking, so it's in the evening, so it's 5 to 9. And then on Saturday it's 9 to 5, and it's all education. And
Okay.
so it's in Atlanta, so we're on YouTube right now, so I'm not gonna say what the address is. So
Oh, got you. Got
yeah,
you. Don't
yeah,
worry.
I'm gonna send it out to all of the trustees.
Not to worry. Okay. But you understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yep.
Yes.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
you're so welcome.
Yes. Thanks.
Can't wait to see you guys in person.
Yes, I'll definitely be there.
Yes, awesome, awesome. All right, Flo.
Uh, I just am curious. And maybe I did something incorrect, but it's requesting third-party designee information. Did you complete a form SS4 for that?
For
Or
so the SS4 is the EIN application. So you're doing it online. So what you're doing right now is the SS4. So Yes, you have to designate who the third party is. You have to identify, and then sometimes they want you to have that approved before you can do it online. So sometimes you would have to do it manually.
All right.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we are about to wrap it up. Ashley is going to be our last person. It is 1:06. I got homework for you guys. So, Ashley?
Okay, so I have someone who I have in mind being a beneficiary. They also have a business. Would I be able to appoint them as a beneficiary on the personal side, and then for their business as like a grantor, for example? So their business name as the grantor, and then their name as my beneficiary.
Yeah, so to be honest with you, the way if you were to structure it like that, it's a conflict of interest
Okay.
because the grantor cannot have any beneficial interest, but the grantor is a business that's operated by the natural person that you're appointing as the beneficiary.
Right. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah,
So conflict of interest. Got it.
yeah. All right. Let's see here. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so we're done. We're all wrapping it up. So I have homework for you guys. The homework is for you to do your research and your due diligence and see where you're going to actually open up your trust fund account. So who are you going to bank with, right? So today we built business credit. We actually did our board meetings for our bank accounts, right? And so now a lot of us yesterday, we already said we're going to get our trust notarized this weekend. And so now next week, you're going to actually open up your bank account. So who are you going to bank with? Okay. So go ahead and post in the Facebook group. Let us know who you're going to bank with. The other piece of homework is tomorrow we're going to be doing transferring our assets. So you have received the asset inventory list. You either received it on Monday or Tuesday, okay? Probably Tuesday. And so I want you to work on the asset inventory list, one, so that you know what your net worth is, right? And two, so that you can identify what assets you're going to put inside of the trust and what assets that you're going to leave outside of the trust. For example, if you have a vehicle, but you don't have the title to that vehicle, that is an asset, but you're not going to put that asset into the trust. That's an asset that's going to stay outside of the trust until that vehicle is paid off and you're able to obtain the title to have it retitled, okay? So go ahead and fill out the asset inventory list that you received as one of the resources in your email, and then go ahead and post in the Facebook group and let us know who you're going to be banking with as far as you setting up your trust fund account, okay? And when you're going to set up your trust fund account. So, and if you didn't do yesterday's homework, because I didn't see that many people do it, go ahead and let us know when you're going to notarize your trust, okay? And like I said yesterday, Flo, she is a notary, so she can notarize your trust. So you can get in contact with Flo in the Facebook group if you guys need a notary. Tap in with her services, okay? If you're in Florida, I am a notary too. I do not mind notarizing if you guys are in Florida, okay? So go ahead and, tap into the resources that we have here available in the community. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. where we're going to be going over transferring assets. So we're going to go over transferring the house, the vehicle, the business, doing amendments with the Secretary of State, and then we're going to go over infinite banking and how to set up that asset, okay? So I will see you guys tomorrow at 11, and then send an email to support@7ways2wealth if you are having issues with your login credentials, because that is where the recordings are. The recordings are in your portal, okay? You have to click the link, You have to put in your username and password. And then once you log in, you'll see two different courses. The first one is the actual program. The second one is the recordings for all of the workshops. So you get all the workshops from last year and all of the future workshops and all of the recordings for what we're doing now this week. Okay, guys? So send an email to support@7waystowealth if you're not able to log in. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a blessed